Hey guys, it's Ryan. Welcome to our Thanksgiving edition of our small group leader video. I want to give a shout out and a welcome to Bill Lamica and Kelly Hart, who are now going to be taking over for Milo and Penny on the Monday night group. Thank you guys for doing that, for serving the church this way. These videos serve as a sort of connecting point to vision, but also to just what's happening and what was in my head when I preached on Sunday, so that if you are leading a discussion about Sunday's sermon, you will be better equipped to do so. You'll have some of the tools to do so. Normally, this is the point in which I would tell you that yesterday I preached on Luke chapter 7, verses 41 through 50, which is really a subset of a bigger story from 36 through 50, where Jesus is dining at the home of Simon the Pharisee when a woman of ill repute comes in and begins washing his feet with her tears and drying them with her hair, and turns into a teaching moment for Jesus about forgiveness. The big idea of my sermon was that the size of your love and devotion for Jesus is directly proportional to the amount of forgiveness you have received from him. Now, obviously, we all have the same debt to pay, the same amount of forgiveness needed. No sin is bigger than any other, but there is a sense in which our experience of forgiveness is not always the same as other people's. So the sermon focused a little bit on what do you do if you're someone who maybe is a little more like Simon, that your experience of forgiveness might be only 50 denarii worth instead of 500 denarii worth. So that was the gist of the sermon. Discussion this week. I don't think there's any of our groups meeting to talk about the sermon, but that's normally what I would do in this video. Instead, what I want to do this week is I want to focus a little bit on the vision of our groups. We interviewed a young woman a few weeks ago for our administrative assistant position. She's a young 23-ish year old recent graduate of the university, so she's a young millennial. And one of the questions I asked her was just about her experience at All Souls, and she had a lot of great things to say. She said it was very welcoming, and she has enjoyed it very much. She's been coming for roughly 2 years, off and on, not very consistently, not super connected. But she just made this comment kind of in passing as we were reflecting on that question, and she said, maybe as a critique, one of the things that I have never received is a personal invite to a small group. In other words, no one has personally come up to her and invited her to attend their small group. And there's lots of reasons for that. I don't think it's super big deal. Nobody did anything wrong. I'm not even sure there were small groups meeting when she first started coming to the church. But point being, just that I think it's interesting how people really do need a personal invite from someone before they will typically come to a small group. And there's a couple reasons for that. One of them being that then they feel like they know someone at that small group. So they're not just walking into a completely unfamiliar scenario, but they have at least some connection. So one of the goals that I just want to put out there for the next few months, because especially over the next 2 months, things tend to really slow down for small groups at All Souls, probably slow down in Missoula in general, and it's really hard to get together with people over the holidays. But you probably will feel like you're going to end up rebooting your group to a certain degree come late January, early February. So this is a great time to be inviting, to be talking with people, to be looking for new people. You might even consider getting a list of people from me or Paul and checking them off as you've made the personal invite and the personal ask. It's also not a bad idea to encourage people in your group to be inviting folks personally. It really doesn't work for me to stand up on Sundays and encourage people to come to groups. They still need a personal invite. That helps, but there needs to be a face connected with the group that they're about to attend. That's all I got for this week. I really am hoping that we can make a huge push in the coming year to grow our small group ministry, because I really do think it's the vehicle through which we are going to be most successful at enfolding people into the life of our church. So your role becomes increasingly important, and hang in there. We appreciate all you do. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a great week and happy Thanksgiving, and I'll talk with you soon.